Hello guys and welcome back to another episode. We have today on the bench the CBR1000RR. Let's have a go at fixing it once again. So for you guys who haven't seen the other episode, I've got this bike really cheap. Bit of a track hack. That's my plans basically. Maybe make her sort of road legal, but very much under the influence of a cheap track hack. So yeah, the aim of the game is cheapness. I keep running away with my head with it, with, oh, I'll get some race fairings and I'll do this and I'll do that, I'll powder coat the frame, do this. And it just sort of, suddenly it's no longer a cheap track hack, and if you were to crash it, then I'd be getting more upset. But so I've really got to stick to that premise of she's a cheap bike and needs to stay that way. I have got some trick bits coming for her. Again, I shouldn't have spent the money already before getting her running right. But again, they've turned up and they're cheap, so I thought, yeah, pulled the trigger. If I don't use them on this, I can always use them on a different bike. But again, that'll be future episodes to come, so stay tuned. So last time we took a look at this, I had it in my head that it was the cam chain tensioner. Changed that out. Unfortunately, it still made the noise. I'll put a little clip for, again, you guys who haven't seen the episode, so you can hear it. I'm not going to start it again because it pains me, the noise, to be honest. So yeah, that didn't work out. So I will try another fix. So I've done some research. This is where I'm going to look next. So at the back of the clutch, there's a little sort of at the back of the clutch basket, there's a chain that runs down to the oil pump. Just runs off of engine speed. No, from what I could see, there's no tensioner involved. It's just the chain running between two gears. Obviously that chain over time will stretch, and apparently it gives a bit of slap. Sort of sounds, from what I've seen, it sounds like what this is doing. So I've managed to source the parts cheap off of eBay, second hand. Again, going down that route of cheap. So I've got the parts, I've got the gasket. Depending on what I find, I might not use the gasket, because again, for a future episode, again, like I say, she's going to be a track hack, so I want to try and do like a slipper clutch. I know this is one thing that these bikes of this era weren't. It was a bit of a failing of theirs, so I am going to try, and again, do that on the cheap. I'm going to try a later model, an 08 CBR1000RR. I'm going to try an 08 clutch, OEM clutch, see if I can get that to work in place of the original. Not holding my breath. Again, I found one really cheap on eBay. Thought I'd roll the dice. It's a fraction of the cost of what a proper slipper clutch for this proper engine sort of thing. A fraction of the cost of what that would be. So yeah, hey, look, if it works, then tap on the back. If it doesn't, well, not a huge amount lost. I can always sell the clutch. So yeah. But yeah, I'm going to get it jacked up on the bench, get it all stripped down, see what we see, bring you guys along for it, and fingers crossed, literally keeping everything crossed, that this resolves the issue. So yeah, stay tuned. There we go, guys. Cover is off. To be honest, I was pleasantly surprised. The cover hasn't got any damage on it, pretty much. It's not even a scrape down here. So the actual cover, one of the bolts, I think it's the one that's down in this corner here, that was bent. So it's obviously had a whack from there, but no damage to the casing, no real damage to the cover, if I'm being honest. So all's well that ends well there. Something I didn't mention on the last video, which I was, again, very surprised, given the bike is best part of 20 years old, and I think, was it 47,000 miles. So you'd like to think in that time it's been apart and together a few times. Now, yeah, something I noticed was there was no mismatched screws, no missing screws. Everything looked as it should, sort of like factory wise. Or like I had this rubber skirt that goes around here. All that was in place perfectly. So I'm really going to try and preserve that side of things, and I'm going to sort of make sure everything is kept and in the right place, because like I say, so easily, 20 years old, so many miles, things get mislaid or dropped, and I'll just miss a screw from the airbox, this, that. Do you know what I mean? It happens. Now, where I was pleasantly surprised up the top there, down here, not too disappointed, but a little bit concerning. So no gasket is present. That's my first note. So no gasket is present, but there is silicone, lots of it. So I can try and avoid it wherever I can. So I do feel at some point, again, 47,000 miles, you'd fully expect at some point someone would have been in doing some work, whether it's new clutch plates or whatever. Someone would have been here doing something at some point. But yeah, like I say, a gasket I think is like £4. So for me, just put a new gasket on. It saves a lot of issues. It become more evident. Try and get it on camera. Here we go. At the front here, there was certainly a little bit. I wouldn't call it an oil leak as such, but it certainly had a weep. You got all the shit and biscuits sticking to it. So yeah, like I say, bit annoying, but it's not the end of the world. I have got a gasket for it. Depending on how bad this is when I actually get into it. So you can see the chain here running down to the oil pump. If I try and give it a little. So there is a bit of play, but it's hard to see anything. You can only see a tiny bit of it. Well, I don't know how much play it's meant to have from factory as standard sort of thing, what the tolerances are. Yeah, let's give it a go. So what I'll do is I'll put you back on the time lapse. I'll pull the clutch off, all the basket, everything off. We'll get a better look at the chain, and we'll look to get that changed and get it back together, fire her up. Fingers crossed. All right, catch you in a bit. Come across a bit of a bastard, to be honest, guys. So the socket, or the nut, sorry, that's on here. To be honest, it's a very strange shape to begin with, but I'm sort of guesstimating it's about a 32, but you need a 12-sided socket. I've only got a 6-sided, unfortunately. I'm going to have a little rustle around, see if I can get anything to work. If not, I'm going to have to put a pause on this one and look to the drawing board, and possibly, well, more than likely, going to have to buy a special tool, which is mighty frustrating to say the least. Yeah, bear with me though. I'm going to have a little rustle about. Hopefully I'll be back in a few seconds. Well, I had to get a bit brutal, but she's off. There we go, guys. Nothing that a little bit of persuasion won't help. I will have to get a new one, but I think it's recommended you replace them anyway. So, like I say, my plan is to do a slipper clutch on this. All going well, getting the noise sorted. So I'll half-arse it back on, just as a temporary. It's not going to go anywhere. It's just going to be there on the stand being started. Yeah, and then when I tackle the slipper clutch, when I get all the bits for that, I will, I'll make sure I've got a new one, and I'll buy the tool. Unfortunately, what a bastard that is. It's about 17, 18 quid, but it's not huge money, but it's still not the point. I think it's ridiculous. Just put a normal nut on there, Honda. But yeah, there you go. So yeah, I'm going to crack on with the time lapse, and saying that, there's no point in the time lapse because it should just be live action view. Let's go. Whenever I've watched videos in the past and the guys go, oh, it's really hard with one hand. Oh, guys, I can't tell you, it is next to impossible. Alright, 2 seconds, guys, I'll be back. Okay, there she is. She is off. It was hard because it was catching on the crankshaft. Yeah, so a little bit of a bastard. Had to spin the engine just a smidgen, but got the basket all out. Now the chain in question, it is, for me, that is quite loose, but for it to make all that noise, it surely had to be catching on something. Now, just looking round, I can't see anything obvious that's got any sort of wear marks, any damage. Nothing that's jumping out to me. So yeah, what I might do, just so when you push it over like that, you can see how close it is to this mark here. So if anything, so what could we use? What could we use as a guide? Saying that, the side, the lash, the sidewards movement is quite a bit. It's hard to say because it's all oily in here. If there's any sort of gashes, any marks. Again, nothing that's jumping out screaming at me, but I will change it and see where we go. So yeah, I'm just going to swap that over and I'll be back. Okay, there we go. The chain has been changed. Now, if I'm being honest, there's still a bit of side lash, but it does feel a bit better. Now, I don't want to say this is in my head. It feels, visually it's hard to say. I'll try and do a direct side-by-side comparison. So I push in here, this is what I've done before. Oh, look at it focusing properly. It does feel just that little bit better. Really easy to change. All I've done is pop this bearing off here, pulled the sprocket, basically the upper sprocket, pulled that sort of forward. That dropped it off the shaft slightly, where I could just sort of unhook it from the bottom one, and then just reverse to put it back on. And just, it was a bit awkward hooking it on the sprocket down there because it's at an angle and just sort of in the deeper depths, as it were. But again, like I say, really guys, if you get a similar sort of issue and you want to have a go yourself, it really isn't too bad. The only thing I would say is a bit annoying is that special socket. I think it's a HWT030. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, please, but that's what I see online, as it were. So yeah, I'm going to stick the time lapse on. I'm going to get it all back together. I'm not going to use a gasket for now. Like I say, I'm only just going to start her, so if she even leaks a little bit, I really couldn't care, to be honest, because I just want to know she's good before I start proceeding down any other route. So yeah, like I've said twice already, third time's a charm, fingers crossed. Let's get it back together. Well guys, that is her back together. Like I say, I've left a couple of screws out, just what goes in the cover. I'm going to drop it down. Oh, I'll tell you what, actually I forgot to put the oil cap on. Let's do the oil cap. Don't want oil spewing out, firing at me. That would just be annoying more than anything. Okay, let's drop it down. Hopefully the battery's got a bit of charge in her. I did charge her up, but whether she's holding or not is a different question. Oh, fuel pump sounds juicy. Okay, here we go, moment of truth. Well, that's pissed me off. So it's still there, as prevalent as ever. So I am going to say it's going to be the cam chain. I really don't think it's the spun bearing, because it sounds so good. Other than that chain slap, it could be it's worn through a guide. It's really quite annoying, to be honest. Really quite annoying. But still, these things are sent to test us, so I will get a cam chain. A bit more of an can't even talk properly. A bit more of an involved job, but nothing we can't handle here. So yeah, unfortunately, another failure for the CBR1000RR Fireblade. So stay tuned, guys. We're down, but we're not out. Let's carry on the fight and see where it gets us. Ciao for now.